Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you are watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it is another episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And joining me today on Who's That Cosplayer is my friend and friend of the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast and crew, Miss Adorkable Cosplayer. How you doing today?
Doing good. Hi. Thank you for having me on here today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for sliding in my DM. See, that's the thing. Usually, we are sliding in people's DMs, but since I started doing this, who's that cosplayer session on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, I've been having people slide in my DMs, and it's just like, so this is how it feels when I'm sliding in people's DMs. So thank you so much for joining me. And before we get into today's interview, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So are you ready to do this?
Of course. Bruni and I are always ready.
I was just about to ask you, hey, name drop him. Like, who is that?
This is Bruni, the fire element, the fire spirit. I'm sorry.
Okay, so now I don't know who Bruni the fire spirit is. So to our viewers who are watching right now, like, just drop some knowledge. Like, who is Bruni?
Well, Bruni is my dear friend because I'm Elsa, the fifth spirit from Frozen 2.
Nice. And see, that's why I haven't seen Frozen 2 yet. I've only seen the first one. Yeah, that's something that Trav and D get on me for a lot, is that I have a huge list of movies and TV shows that I have to watch, and to compare it to somebody's list, it's like Steve Rogers' list from the MCU, where he has all of these movies that he has to watch, but my list is longer than his. And while he is older than me, I've been around longer than him, and I still haven't watched some of this stuff. So, I am disappointed in myself, but at the same time, I don't care.
I was raised with Disney growing up in Florida, 45 minutes away from Orlando. So the mouse was kind of like,
he was always banging on your door,
down your throat.
Uh-huh.
And Disney Channel was free, being a Florida resident growing up in the 80s. So that was, hey, pretty cool.
Nice.
So I was very hesitant. I've never really done a Disney cosplay before until Frozen came out. And I saw Elsa, and Elsa was really the first princess I really connected with.
Nice.
And in the weirdest way, it has to deal with being a cosplayer. For many, many years, I hid the fact that I was a cosplayer because I started back in the 90s before it came out as open as it is today.
Yeah.
So in a way, I was just like Elsa with her powers. I let it go. Showed myself.
I love it. Yeah.
Went into the unknown,
I love it. And it's crazy that you say that, back in the 90s, it was hidden, because, back then cosplay wasn't a big thing like how it is now. And I just had a guest, Johnny Five, who was on last week's episode. And one of the things that he mentioned was that, there was no YouTube. There was no, shops that you could go online and find what you were looking for. It's like a lot of stuff you had to make by hand. So for you to, have been cosplaying back in the 90s, let us know about how different was it cosplaying back then compared to how it is now?
We weren't as situated on accuracies. It was okay to have flaws, to be different in your cosplays, to have, not the proper materials all the time, because, I'm sorry, foam in the 90s? No, you didn't see any of that unless it was the floppy craft foam that you see everywhere now.
Yeah.
That was our foam. A lot of the stuff was made by hand sewing and your own hands, your own crafting. We didn't have 3D makers. We didn't have online stores where it was pre-made. And it was just a different era. I don't know how to explain it, because I cosplayed from late 95, because I started with Dragon Con.
And that's a huge con.
It wasn't back then.
It wasn't?
It was, but it wasn't. I only say it was because we didn't have many cons at that time.
Yeah.
But compared to what it is now,
it's huge. And you know what's crazy about you know, because like my generation, when we were coming up, it's like we were all nerds. It's like we were introduced to all of this nerd stuff. And what's cool about you know, the world now, it's like pretty much the nerds took over. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like back,
I love it. I love it. But you can't see it because I try to cover it up, but my saying pride, I
see it.
I'm not ashamed of it.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. And I love your Dragon Ball Z tattoo because I have one too. I know everybody can't see it, but I have hope tattooed on my arm. And pretty much what it means is because like there was a, you know, time where I was very depressed. And, you know, one of the things that I never gave up on was hope. So when I got my first tattoo, this is my first and only tattoo. I am going to get some more. Trunks, he's one of my favorite DBZ characters. And as we know, on his time machine, Bulma, she wrote hope up there. And that's the tattoo that I got because it was something that I never lost. And I agree with you where it's just like now, you know, the con scene, like being a nerd, is awesome compared to back in the day. But even like what you were saying, it's just like you had to keep it on the down low that you were a cosplayer. And it was the same thing with, you know, me going to school. It's like Little Banks. It's like if you were a nerd, now me, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been, you know, who I am. And I've always been a nerd. If I like something, I was going to talk about it. But back then, like that was frowned upon if you were into anime or role-playing games and stuff like that. So I love that, you know, it's cool to be a nerd now. And, you know, one of the things that I hate about the nerdoms sometimes are gatekeepers who are just like, oh, well, I watched this back when it aired in the 90s, so you can't be a fan. It's just like, yo, like if this person wants to be a fan of this anime, instead of being a gatekeeper, like drop your knowledge on them. You know what I'm saying?
I literally shut those gatekeepers down because, no offense, but most of them, I still babysat them, at least that age group.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Sorry, I'm aging myself right there horribly. But I can be like, oh, I remember watching Rocket Boy, you know, like Astro Boy.
Yeah.
On the little dime machines at Sears when they were still black and white. Let's talk about age then.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's the first thing I get to. A lot of these people are talking about the originals, and I don't see anything really older than Dragon Ball. And I'm sitting here going, you know, Astro Boy was the one that started it all. Why don't you go with the OG?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And what's crazy about anime back then was there were so many anime, well, not a lot, but we did get them when we were kids, but we didn't know that they were animes. Like Voltron was anime.
We thought that was a normal Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, Speed Racer. It was G-Force over here in America, but I can't remember what it was called in Japan. Was it Gotcha?
Gotcha Force.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, so
Gotcha Force.
It was so much stuff that we had over here, and it's just like we just didn't know about it. And you know, that's me showing my age too, with some of the cartoons that we had growing up. Now, something that we do here on Who's That Cosplayer and just leveling up with Benjamin Banks in general is we ask our heroes and villains, who or what is your origin story? Like, who is Adorkable Cosplayer?
Adorkable Cosplayer was the nerd that was picked on literally from kindergarten because of medical reasons. And I went through a lot of traumas, a lot of issues. In fact, I got another Dragon Ball tattoo on my thigh. You can see it in one of my pictures. It's Shenron with the 7 Dragon Balls.
Nice.
And that actually is more than just a Dragon Ball fandom. It represents 7 trials that I went through in my life where I could have went a totally different way.
Yeah.
It could have went horribly bad. And I look at it like, I'm turning 40 next month. I've collected my 7 Dragon Balls. I'm making my wish.
Hey, I'm putting pinkies up for all of that. That's awesome.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just overcoming what life gives you and then embracing who you truly are. And Adorkable really came from the fact I've never been like cute. I can't get away from the word cute or adorable. And I'm a nerd. I'm a dork. I'm more than just an anime and Marvel, and I play D&D. I LARP. I'm really good at science. Talk to me about dinosaur stuff. I study paleontology. So I am a nerd. So I am a dork who's able. Adorkable.
I love it. I love how it's like, to use a Dragon Ball term, you fused everything together. But with this, it's like it didn't last for 30 minutes. It lasted for a lifetime, and a lifetime where it's like you have grown and, you know, you are a very positive person. Because see, I'm friends with Adorkable Cosplayer on Facebook, and I've met her through her husband, George, who is also a cosplayer. Now, just to let you guys know, he is in some of these photos on the slideshow.
He's my Majin Vegeta.
And George, he really looks like he could be a stunt double for Ryan Reynolds. He really looks like he's Ryan Reynolds. And I just wanted to,
the local joke around here? The local joke, he's the Ryan Reynolds that went over 9,000.
It's like, it was funny because I met him for the first time, and he looks like Ryan Reynolds as Vegeta. So if you are ever at Nekocon, because it is supposed to be coming back this year, and you see Adorkable Cosplay. Now, does he have a cosplay name too, or is he just George?
He's just my George, my handler, my Vegeta.
He's just your Saiyan prince. If you ever see him, make sure you get a picture with him and let him know that Benjamin Banks said that he is Ryan Reynolds. Just say that.
He loves it. In fact, he wants to redo his All Might. He had a lot of fun with All Might last time.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen him in his All Might. All I've seen him in his Vegeta. Now, what I'll say is, when I first met you, Adorkable, you were cosplaying as the raptor from Jurassic Park. And I kind of wanted to piggyback off of how you said that, you know, you're huge into science, and like, if you ever want to talk about dinosaurs. Now, to keep it on the dinosaur topic, what is your favorite Jurassic Park movie?
Oh, the original.
Yes. I was it felt like it was a horror movie. I had nightmares.
The original actually came out on my 12th birthday.
Nice. So you went to go see it on your birthday?
Yes. In fact, nice. I was really excited because it was supposed to come out this year on my 40th birthday. I was like, I'm gonna party like I'm 12. I still have the Jurassic Park shirt.
Nice. I've never had one. I've always wanted one.
Oh, I used to have everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. And the saddest part is, I can honestly say, I lost my entire Jurassic Park collection to a divorce.
Oh no. Like that's the worst. I'm so sorry that you lost your collection, man. And it sucks, because it's just like, you know, this is something that you grew up with and you had, and then it's like you lose it, and it's like you have to start over again, unfortunately.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Thank God we have a lot of antique malls around here.
Oh yes, we do. And they're like, it's like going in it is like being a kid in a candy store. Like there's one out of Virginia Beach that I love going to, because they have so much what is it called? It's Bella's
Toy Meister.
It's like so many names put into one, because I know them as Bella.
It's Toy Meister, there's Bella's, there's Whimsical.
Yeah, Whimsical.
Literally, it's the Virginia Beach Antique Mall.
Yes.
And then there's a bunch of individual shops. Oh my goodness, I can just.
It's like being in heaven.
It's beautiful.
It's just like being in heaven. Now, I wanted to go back to the Jurassic Park thing. Now, I went to go see it when it came out on opening day too. Now, I do not remember how old I was, but I do remember, like I said earlier, the movie, it did give me nightmares. And I'll always remember because we went with my Uncle Brad, rest in peace. And he asked, like, it was me, him, my cousin, and my aunt. And my aunt, she wanted to go see some Disney movie. It was something with animals. It was a cartoon movie. And my uncle wanted to go see Jurassic Park. So it was kind of like an RPG where it's just like, choose which movie you want to go see. And I was just like, I want to go see Jurassic Park. And my cousin went to go see the movie with my aunt. And when me and my uncle came out of the movie, like, we were hyped. And then my cousin, he comes out, he's just like, man, I really wish I would have went to go see Jurassic Park with y'all. Like, hey, that's your fault for going to go see some Disney movie. Like, we saw dinosaurs. I remember I asked my uncle, I was just, because at the time, Batman the animated series was still on TV and it was popular. And I kept asking, I was just like, when's Batman showing up? When is Batman going to save these people from the dinosaurs?
No, there is no Batman in this.
There is no Batman, But, to take it back to the cosplay stuff, because like you're a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. You've done Kefla. You've done I can't remember. You've done Khalifa. Kefla is when
I've done Khalifa. I've done Cauliflower. Oh my goodness.
You've done
Saiyan Man. Lord Beerus.
Yeah, you've done so many. So to keep it on the Dragon Ball Z topic, like
Frieza right there.
Oh, yeah, you done Frieza. you had the opportunity to meet Linda Young. You met Kyle Hebert. Like, what are some of your favorite con moments when dressing as a Dragon Ball Z costume player? There we go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I actually just talked to my husband about this morning because I really want to bring back Lord Frieza for Nekocon. Because one of my favorite moments. All right. So I'm a psychology major.
Okay. Nice. Pinky's up to that.
I like to have mental fun. So one of the things I did at GalaxyCon in Richmond, the last con we went to, I was walking up to the police officers, and I would go,
"Do it, do the voice, do it."
Woo. Excuse me, have you ever thought of joining the Frieza Force? We have a low kill rate from the enemy, but a high kill rate for myself.
Yo, that was awesome, man. That was so awesome. And I'm one of those type of people where it's like, I love doing the Frieza voice as well, because it's just something about it. Like, I try to do the Linda Young one, but it's like, I'm more of the one that Chris Aries do. It's kind of a mixture between both of them, but I'm just like, I'll kill you, you stupid monkeys. Or, something like that. Hey, your boy wants to be a voice actor one day. So maybe I can get into there, because I love doing different voices and stuff like that. And, I know that that's something that you do. You went to voice acting school, and, how have your adventures in voice acting been?
Well, nothing yet that...
Okay.
I can say anything about, but I get regular auditions with a well-known studio who is run by a well-known voice actor.
Okay.
Of an anime character my husband cosplays as. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for that. I've been taking classes since last year through the pandemic, since there were no stage performances because I'm a stage actress. I had to figure out something. I was getting kind of bored at home. And
no, I get that. And that's something that like a lot of voice actors say. If you're ever listened to the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, like, we interview voice actors, and a lot of them say that it's like they got their start in theater, and theater really helped them when it came to getting into voice acting. So something that I always mention is, if you are in theater right now, or if you ever wanted to get into voice acting or want to be an actor, take up theater, like, get into it, so that way, like, you can know your P's and Q's, as they say.
In fact, Anybody who's here locally in Hampton Roads, we have a lovely theater over at the oceanfront, the Little Theater Virginia Beach. That's who I work with now and then. Like it's fun. Like, I don't know. I feel comfortable on stage.
Yeah, hey, and that's what it's all about. Now, to anybody that would want to get into voice acting, you said that you were taking one of the class. Give a shout out to the class that you're taking.
Oh my goodness! I started off with Chris Ryder's class. Mr. Satan himself from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Hercule Satan. Wonderful classes. He brings in others, like an ADR directors. He brings in everybody, script writers, the whole 9 yards, so that they can critique you, go through what you need to learn. Then I also did class with Jamie Marchi, which was equally fantastic because she is going to help me progress further with personal coaching.
Nice.
So
nice.
I'm super thankful for that, because I get to learn from people who have been in the industry for many, many years. And plus they're people I've looked up to and I've listened to growing up.
Nice. And that's always awesome to work with people who, like you said, you grew up watching them, and it's like, this is something that you really want to do, and they're critiquing you. They're telling you if you did good, if you did bad, this is what you need to work on. That's what you need to work on. So it's interesting and it's fun, because it's like, now it's like, if this is something that you really want to do, you have to take it serious. You know what I'm saying? So pinky's up to you for, stepping into the field of voice acting. And, I do hope that one day, like, we hear you on some of my favorite animes, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Super, like the list goes on.
That would be an absolute, I'm not gonna lie, if I could be in the Dragon Ball universe in some way, shape, or form, I think I could be like, okay, I'm good with life.
I think anybody would, if they could be in Dragon Ball. And like, that's something that we get with a lot of voice actors who come on to the pod. It's just like, they grew up watching Pokemon or Dragon Ball or Yu-Gi-Oh! So
I started watching Dragon Ball in the 80s before we even got, it was no subtitle, no English. It was straight beta recording from Japan brought over.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Who's that cosplayer?
I love your Boondocks painting behind you, dude.
Oh, thank you so much.
That is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Goodness.
I love the Boondocks. My friend, he actually saw it at a flea market out in Portsmouth, Virginia. And he was just like, hey, man, I know you love the Boondocks. And he sent me a picture of it. And I was just like, yeah, I got to have it. So I sent him the money and he got it and brought it to me that day. As you can see, like, I have, all of my collectibles. I got the Funko Pops. I got this picture behind me of me as Midoriya and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as All Might, Majin Buu. I'm a huge nerd, so I got everything in here. Let me ask you, because you're in your studio right now, do you have any collectibles or anything in there that you have when you're recording?
Actually, well, every good artist needs to be surrounded by their loved items, So yes, I actually have, let me pick up my camera.
Okay, yeah, let me see what you got.
I have this right here. You can't really tell, but this was actually given to me by my dear friend Sophia over in England.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, she sent it over to me last year as my birthday present. And it is pictures of Vegeta, Goku, and then Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta on dictionary pages.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
I love it. The minute I saw it, I was like, you're going right in my studio.
Yeah, it's always, I feel like when it comes to, your studio or your place of, your nerd room, your nerd cave, as they say.
I got my Humphrey.
Oh, nice, 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 nice. It's just it's always cool to have things that make you happy in your area of nerdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to ask you this: when you're not cosplaying, what are some things that an Adorkable Cosplayer is doing? What are some of your hobbies?
Oh my goodness. I read a lot. Right now I've been reading the Outlander series because I'm sorry, I couldn't wait for season 6, so I had to read book 6. It's really good. Now I can't wait for season 6. I'm a Jamie fan.
Nice, nice, nice.
Let's see here. I have my 3 cats, Raina, Reggie, and Rena. Those are my kids, my babies, my
I love
everything.
the 3 R's.
Oh, whoa, because hubby's Randy, George, Randy. So, yeah. I take care of a feral cat colony in my neighborhood. I don't know. I try to do as much as I can. I do a lot of charity work. That's kind of why I chose Elsa.
Nice.
I do a lot of work here locally as Elsa. I've done parades, hospital visits. Birthday parties are an absolute blast because I make fake snow for kids.
Awesome.
That you can actually make snowballs and have like snowball fights.
That's cool. That's cool. I
it's a great way to not adult.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that because I feel like with cosplay, you know, it's always awesome because you're not yourself, you're playing a character, and for you to do this with kids and for them to, you know, believe that you're Elsa, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the power of cosplay, because especially when it's kids, you know what I'm saying? Because like a little kid, like me as a little kid, if I saw somebody cosplaying, because back then, of course, we didn't know what cosplay was, but you know, now everybody knows what cosplay is. But if I would have saw somebody dressed up as Goku as a kid, I would have thought that was the real Goku. And
you would like this even better. Over this past year, because of the pandemic, I've been door dashing because I lost my job, and can't really do birthday parties.
Yeah, because of the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really sad. So I would actually DoorDash as Elsa.
Oh wow! So when you show up to people's house, that's awesome, man.
And now it's actually become known in the DoorDash community around here. Restaurants get upset when I don't come in dressed as either Fifth Spirit Elsa or the blue dress Elsa.
Yeah.
So it's fun. And I just did that honestly because I miss the smiles.
No, I totally understand that, because it's like just being Elsa, like you said, going to these restaurants, you know, showing up at people's houses, like it's an awesome feeling, you know, when people see you and they're just like, that's Elsa, you know?
And it's like, don't you know Elsa's an essential hero too?
Yeah, she is. She
smiles
really is.
Are essential.
She really is. Now, see, because we're talking about Elsa, now it's like I really need to watch Frozen 2 because it's something that it's on my list of things to watch. Like, I just watched Coco last month for the first time. And I'm not gonna lie.
No judge.
I'm 32 years old and your boy was crying. When I saw that ending, oh my God, when he started singing Remember Me, it was a tearjerker, you know, but that's what Pixar movies do. It's just like they always get you in your feelings when you watch them. And that's one of the things that I love about the Pixar films. So
the end of Frozen 2, I won't give it too much away, but let's just say there's a scene between Elsa and her mom.
Uh-huh.
I will forever cry during because it reminds me of me and my mom.
Yeah, please don't give it away, because I was just like Elsa and her mom. Like now, it's like I really got to watch it. But it's like I'm just always so used to repeating and watching the same stuff. It's just like I'm huge into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so it's like I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna watch JoJo again. I'll start it over. I don't care. Same thing with My Hero Academia, and that's my problem. I'm always so used to keep continuing to watching the same stuff over and over that it's like I don't give new stuff a chance sometimes.
All right, take Elsa's advice.
I will, Elsa.
Go into the unknown and find yourself.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna let it go. I promise you that. So I wanted to ask you, has there ever been any times in your cosplay career where it's just like you've encountered a problem? Sorry, my timer went off. When you've encountered a problem, and how did you handle that situation?
Trying to think. Like as far as like creating or a social situation type
Like
of
a
deal?
social situation, because it's like I know in the world of cosplay there are times where it's just like, you know, people
they expect you to be okay. I have a perfect story for you about this, and it's actually really awesome and funny at the same time, and it came out fantastic. People didn't even realize what was happening. So this was a couple years ago here at Waterside during AMA, the last AMA that we had. And it was that same weekend that they had the Pride Fest at Waterside. Well, we're in the hotel and I'm looking over at the Pride Fest and I'm like, they have fried Oreos.
Fried Oreos are delicious.
I want fried Oreos. Let's go get fried Oreos. It was literally like that. So we head over to the park to go get fried Oreos. That never happened. We never got fried Oreos. Attendees at the Pride Fest thought that we were paid actors to be there. So we were surrounded like 8 people deep. And let me tell you our costumes. I am Super Saiyan Cauliflower.
Nice.
My husband is Majin Vegeta.
Nice.
And we have our newbie friend who was Majin Buu. And it was his very first time cosplaying, his very first con.
Nice.
So this is all very new to him. We are surrounded by people. And all of a sudden, this gentleman came out. Like, it was like the crowd parted for this gentleman to walk up to our poor friend. And I don't know how X-rated I can get here because the guy got kind of woohoo.
Keep it PG-13.
Okay. Well, you know Majin Buu?
Yes.
He made a comment about that made my friend's jaw drop.
Hey, we can't say that here on YouTube.
I'm not gonna. Okay, well, let me not tell that story. Can we? Oops.
No, I mean, hey, we're
it was all right. For him, it freaked him out for a split second, and we were able to kind of make it a funny, comical situation for everybody around us.
Nice. You were able to turn the situation into
completely, because
one.
our poor young, because he was young, and he was not expecting something so adult to happen to him. And we were able to okay, it was all cool. And nobody acted like anything was wrong. You know, everything went by right. People were actually asking us for pictures.
Nice. I mean, and then it's Dragon Ball Z, you know, or Dragon Ball Super at this point. So
we didn't get Oreos, but we counted over 400 flashes of the cameras.
Nice. It's
and people gave us money.
Oh, wow. I mean, you can't beat that. So you got pictures taken. You got money.
We don't know what happened, though. It was a 45-minute. Okay. We're going with the flow here.
Yeah, just go with the flow thing.
Literally, that's what we did. We made our rounds around the park to try to leave. And we didn't say no to anybody. You know, everybody was cool and kosher. It was a new experience for our poor young friend. My husband and I, we were like, this is nothing for us. This is the norm. This is nothing for us. But our poor young friend was just like, and he came with us to the next con. Nice.
And so he was better prepared this time around than he was the first time, because his first experience was a wild one. It was a bizarre one, like they say on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I just winked at the camera.
I'm so sorry. I should have I should have said something different. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Hey, that was a cool story to, bring this interview to an end. But I did have one last question for you. With Nekocon starting back up, what are some cosplays that you have in the works for Nekocon?
Well, Elsa is a lot of fun to crossplay with. I will say that.
Okay, yeah.
I may have crossed her with some Sailor Scouts.
Ooh.
And maybe a Mortal Kombat character.
But we can't say. You have to follow Adorkable Cosplayer so that way you can continue with her journey. So that way you know what she's going to be wearing at Nekocon. And
let it go.
Hey, Pinky, don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. There we go. Bam. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me on a new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find Adorkable Cosplayer at.
Well, I'm on Facebook at Adorkable Cosplayer. That's with an ER at the end. I'm also on Twitch. I Twitch almost daily with some sort of game funness. It is an 18 and up stream, but that's at Adorkable VO. I'm also on Instagram at Adorkable_81.
Nice. Thank you. And again, like I said, thank you so much for joining me on another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And you already know where you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to be able to contact Mr. Zuckerberg if he is going to answer my call, which we were in the hot seat a couple of weeks ago, but now we're good. So with that being said, stay positive, keep that pinky up, and we'll see you next time on Who's That Cosplayer on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.